Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of my game development devlog. I am developing a role-playing game inspired by titles released after the 90s. I'd like to talk about how far I have come in the process and what my plans are. If the project interests you, don't forget to follow, leave a comment, and share your ideas. You can also reach out through social media and Discord. Thanks to everyone who supports me. I've always been interested in making games. I especially loved playing classic RPGs. Some were action RPGs with enjoyable combat mechanics, while others had deep systems and gameplay structures. Exploring vast maps and controlling our own characters through adventures offered an amazing experience. Over time, as 3D games became more widespread, classic isometric RPGs became less common. While sequels still come out, they often feature completely new graphical styles. And for some players like me, that old-school atmosphere is missing. It felt like all we could do was wait for games in the style we love. That's not true. We can make one ourselves. That's how I decided to start this project. Previously, I experimented with simple game scenes and prototypes, moving characters, screen scrolling, window creation, and so on. I know C++, so I started developing my game in Visual Studio using the SFML library. Why didn't I use other game engines? I didn't have experience with them, and I believed I could achieve what I needed for a 2D game on my own. I'm also getting support from AI for coding, character drawings, and even music. One of the most common questions I get is, where can I learn this? You can learn quite comfortably with AI. Ask about anything you don't know and apply it. It can make mistakes sometimes, but by correcting each other's errors, you can improve quickly. I've been working on this project for 9 months. First, I took notes about what kind of game I wanted. Map, character movement, combat, dialogues, magic systems, and more. I prepared everything needed to turn my ideas into a game. I decided on an isometric map with tile-based movement. Think of Diablo 1. Character moves from one tile to another without stopping in between, and each tile holds one character. For combat, I choose a system similar to Baldur'S, Arcanum, or Divine Divinity, where selecting a target triggers automatic attacks. Why isometric? Because I really like that style. I could have gone with top-down, but I choose isometric. By that I mean tiles arranged at equal angles. There are also different types of isometric perspectives. A 1:1 ratio has equal pixel dimensions, but I am using a 2:1 ratio, 128 by 64 pixels, similar to games like XCOM and Diablo. So what is my target decision? And what have I done so far? The game takes place in a fantasy world. You create your character, explore the world, and complete quests. However, it's not like Forgotten Realms. Don't expect elves or dragons. Imagine a darkened version of our world, corrupted by magic and curses. Those who carry the curse are executed, and those suspected of it are exiled. The main goal is not to save the world, but to save yourself. You control only your own character. There is a companion system with no strict limits. You could even form a bandit army. What matters is that characters have behavioral traits and needs. They must satisfy hunger, thirst, and fatigue. In some situations, they may feel fear or refuse your commands. Personality traits matter. A cowardly, lazy, angry, or treacherous character will behave differently. A character may swear loyalty to you, or you might be executed under certain circumstances. There will be a day-night cycle. Characters will follow daily routines based on it. I'm still developing the combat system based on stats. Attacks may hit or miss, and you will also have special abilities. For example, if a quest requires capturing someone alive, you can adjust your attacks to knock them unconscious, then tie them up and take them away. You may also have abilities to disarm opponents. Of course, stronger enemies will be less affected by these actions. I'm also working on the magic system. I've added a few spells, but I don't want them to be limited to things like Fireball. I've taken inspiration from detailed systems like D&D. Also, you won't need to be a mage for certain protective rituals. For example, you can use specific materials to protect yourself from evil spirits. Similarly, there are rituals for placing curses. If you suspect an object is cursed, there are ways to find out. The game includes a lore system. You can learn information from characters or books. This knowledge may relate to the world, enemies, or another topic. You can learn about dangers ahead and discover enemies' weaknesses. I'm trying to make an enjoyable gameplay experience without overwhelming the player with too many details. While still using those details to add depth, I'll continue sharing the steps of the development process. I read your comments and listen to your ideas. Some suggestions have already made it into the game. In my older videos, I explain the development process from the very beginning. They are not in English, but I recommend watching them with subtitles. This is a passion project. Making a game alone has many disadvantages, but I've chosen to focus on its advantages. I hope the project progresses as planned. Over time, I may open a Steam page and eventually release the game. Until then, if the project interests you, stay tuned. See you next time. Bye.